Hey guys, I'm Chantal with Growing Up Without Borders. We are going to connect today with a friend of ours from Merida, Mexico. So if anyone has been to Merida, it's an absolute beautiful city in Mexico. It reminded us a lot of Europe because they have like the old square, and I guess a lot of it was established by the Europeans when they came and kind of took over the city. And it has a really cool feel. It's a very hot climate, as you all know, but it gets really hot there. And we absolutely loved our time there. And we connected with a really cool family there. They're actually from Venezuela, but they are living in Merida. So she's actually from Colombia, he's from Venezuela, and they're both living in Mexico. But we're going to connect with them today and bring you a little insight as to what's happening there right now in their city, in Merida, see what's happening during the coronavirus times, and see if it's any different from the rest of the world. So tell me, what in the world is going on in Merida or in Mexico in general? How are you guys doing?
Well, Mexico have taken a um, very passive position when it comes to handling this crisis. There's been lots of deaths that have been diagnosed as atypical pneumonia.
Oh,
So that
they aren't even recording the deaths as the coronavirus?
no, exactly. But there was a weird surge of pneumonia virus. They are not counting the deaths related to coronavirus as it should. And yeah, like so far, the last thing I knew is that the amount of tests that are being run nationwide is very low. Lots of people are coming with symptoms and they just leave home without, like, they would do the test only if you're about to die and if you're lucky.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that is horrible.
Yeah. So in Mexico, that's why we have a very low amount of cases.
So that's
But
what they're saying. That's what they're showing as numbers. But in reality, there would be so many more people if they were getting proper testing. And of course, or the death toll would be different. But this makes no sense to me why they wouldn't be reporting the proper numbers, though.
yeah, taking in consideration that we are just next to the United States, and the United States it has 456,000 cases at this moment. It's obvious that we aren't like the government isn't publishing the right information.
Maybe they don't want to create a panic.
It's not about that. It's
no.
I'm not sure if it's good to talk about this stuff, but
maybe not. Maybe we'll shut down if we do that. Be careful. But no, so is the country actually on lockdown or not even?
Yeah, the country, they took finally measures of, like suggesting everyone to stay at home and all activity that is not essential to the country's well-being, it's completely stopped.
I was going to ask you, do you remember the date that you guys went into lockdown?
Can't remember, but it was about, I think 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. However, there are lots of businesses still open. Lots of people still just going around. Where I live here in Merida, we are in a very privileged location. Merida somehow it seems like it's a different country. The local government has been handling the local crisis very well, and so far, like even the Yucatán population has been staying at home and just making sure to go out the least possible. And there's also police everywhere enforcing this. So if I go out in my car and I'm with someone else in my car, I'm immediately stopped. And it's like, why are you two outside of your house. You can go out, just one person per family, to get the necessary stuff you need for your house, like
Right.
food
Right.
and so.
Right. So
But
are you
yeah,
using a lot of the are a lot of the apps still running? Like I forget the one that your wife used when we were there. It was like one of these like apps that people can do the running around for you. You know what I mean?
yeah, like
You know,
Rappi.
yeah. So are you
Yeah,
using a lot of that to get some things delivered? Is that all still running?
yeah. Well, us as family, tomorrow we're gonna be 4 weeks of 100% isolation. We haven't left our home for 4 weeks, not even to the corner.
Wow.
Um, just trying to make our best effort. And since we have some good space at our place, it's not so hard. In,
Yeah. And
I
you both work from home. So the two of
Exactly.
you work from home already. So you have an advantage of you can still run things as usual. But one of the big changes for you would be your kids are now home full time and you are now experiencing homeschool. So this is great because you guys were talking about it with us saying, how do you
Exactly.
do it? And so now you know.
Exactly.
Welcome to the world of
Well,
homeschooling.
well, it's actually going pretty well. We got them in a homeschooling program because
Yeah,
their school started their own program for homeschooling, but it's something that they just had to do the last hour, So it's really not
sure.
prepared for this. It
Of
was
course.
a schedule for to be around 7 hours a day of activities for a kid. So it's uh, in all the kids immediately hated it.
Oh
Um,
no.
so we just got them in a specialized program. For my girls, it's been a wonderful experience. They have seen the good side of it because they're learning lots of things a lot quicker, and they have to invest a lot less time into learning, and they have a lot more free time to do what they want to do. So
That's good.
artistic
And
projects stuff, and so they're starting to like it.
are
Even
they? And they're not missing their friends too much? Or do they
Yeah,
feel maybe that there isn't that lack of friends because either way they can't see their friends? So they know it's not because of homeschooling, it's because of the
I
coronavirus, right?
I think that's exactly the situation. They understand that we are in a very special and unique circumstance at the moment. So yeah, it's following their school's program 7 hours a day, or just enjoying this platform that is very interactive and it's all like games. So
Sure. That's good. I mean, so the school system sounds a little bit crazy to do 7 hours a day. That sounds ridiculous. I mean,
for a traditional school, it's very complicated to switch to such a different mentality, and homeschooling is obviously very different. So preparing their own like program and adapt it to online classes, it's very complicated. So for them, it was more than obvious that yeah, if you came 7 hours to school, now you're going to be 7 hours at your home, but it's obviously not the same. So yeah,
sure. No, for sure. Now, what about Venezuela? Are you in touch with your family back home and everything? And are they being affected, or do they have an advantage because they were already in such a crisis state in a sense that nobody's going there bringing it from Europe or from China or whatever? Or what is
that
it like?
yeah, that is a very long subject, a subject on its own. But wow, where should I start?
Well, are they affected by the coronavirus? I
Yeah,
mean, are,
there are already few cases confirmed, even though the government claims to have the technology to detect and make the tests of the COVID-19. They claim that in Venezuela at this moment is just 171 confirmed cases, which is yeah, it's like
Which
you
is
know.
to be determined at your own discretion, I guess, is what you're trying to say,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah. But
Uh-huh.
in Venezuela, there's a lot of pandemics going on of many types that even diseases that just cease to exist for a long time, like leprosy or diseases that you no longer hear are starting to surge again in Venezuela
What?
because yeah, it's crazy what's going on there. Um, yeah, just lack of medical attention, lack of access to health and um, access to clean water, basic stuff. So yeah,
Basic stuff.
yeah,
My
just
gosh, that's
lack of
crazy.
access to vaccines, everything. So as far as we know, the coronavirus pandemic hasn't grown too crazily in Venezuela. As you said, mostly in part because Venezuela receives very few international flights.
So then, okay, so you guys are on lockdown now. It sounds like you did it yourselves in the sense that you were proactive and as a family decided to stay in
Yeah.
beforehand and such. So that's good. So you've been following obviously all the other countries and made a decision, right? We're gonna just stay down, stay in before they even implemented it, right?
Before it even arrived to Mexico and started spreading, we just decided we won't run the risk. We don't need it. Like we work from home, and we are in a very privileged situation compared to the rest of the world. And I can say that I'm the least typical case. We like our family is 0.1% of the how Mexico is. So it's very
Yeah,
hard
wow.
for me to speak from this position because the reality is that yeah, there's a lot of poverty in Mexico, and there's lots of people that just can't get 1 month of supplies to just stay at home. They just need to go outside and sell their
Every
stuff,
day.
and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It's one of these economies that it's day by day by day. You make your money, you eat, you make your money, you eat. And so to even think of putting a reserve of rice and beans even is not possible in a lot of cases, which sounds crazy to the most of the world, but that is the reality, right? And so
that is exactly the reality that it's being
it's
lived.
just crazy.
So the government is starting to created a program to send some aids to different like families in need in the country. But what I've heard so far is that yeah, they're giving you like a bag of basic how do you call this in English? Well, like the basic supplies that you need to live for a family of four, let's say 15 days, but it's very basic. So it's
Wow.
not that people can rely on this actually for 15 days.
It's
It helps,
yeah.
but still need to work. Yeah.
It's crazy. It'll be really um, nuts to see what's going to happen with every country like this. That's, you know, I guess you can say in a more of a poor state, what it's like, what's going to happen criminally in the sense where when people need food and they need supplies and then they start doing crazy things, you know? And so this is a concern in many countries, you know? And so we can't really complain. I mean, I'm sure it's probably maybe not, but has it affected your work, for example, at all? A little bit or not so much? Can you pretty much
Um,
continue?
I even though I work from home, the entire industry is stopped. So
Yeah. Yeah. So
uh,
if it's like this too, I mean, it's affected us, of course, but we have to put things into perspective. And I think a lot of people watching that are in different countries, that are in very well developed countries, put things into perspective. Like if you're going through a hard time because you're home and it's hard and all these things are maybe hard for you, or you have to now cook 3 meals at home and you can't order out, put things into perspective, you know, like we're doing a lot more dishes that we're not used to doing and things, but you can easily complain about stupid things in life. but you really need to understand how blessed we are when we can just be home with our families and function, and just, geez, like people are dying everywhere, and then people are going to be dying now of starvation and crazy things, so
and lots of businesses, small businesses, are just going bankrupt. Even from my own friends, like one of our closest friends is owner of a pizza restaurant. So they had to close operations, started just working on delivery, but people ceased to order.
sure.
And yeah, like how to maintain the salaries of all the employees if you're not selling, so they're forced to close.
And then those families and
In the United States, it's the same thing. My uncle, which is he works in the New York University, um, a very good position. He was told like we have salaries up till April 30, and from there on you need to list yourselves as unemployed. And yeah, um, good luck. It's happening everywhere. So
it's
yeah.
sheesh. Yeah, I think we don't even realize yet the side effects of what's going to happen. I don't think we like, because it's hard to comprehend in 1 month's time what's going to happen. It's hard to comprehend. It's like a world war, whatever happening without physically seeing things.
To be honest, like the entire mankind has behaved a lot better than I thought they could ever behave in as a mass. I haven't heard that like criminality has increased in Mexico. Most people are really trying to stay at home as much as possible.
Your wife is from Colombia, and
Yeah.
is she in touch? Is her family still there, or is it pretty much the
Yeah,
same like where you are? Is it
we
pretty
have
much the same?
lots. We have lots of family there.
Mhm.
Pretty much the same as in Mexico.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
that they had one machine to run the tests for COVID-19, and it got damaged. And
One machine? What are you
yeah,
talking about?
so it turns out that the machine was manufactured in Germany,
Okay.
and since Germany it's in a complete lockdown, there was no way to ask for a technician to check it. So yeah, they were running into a lot of problems. I heard that Venezuela's president offered them a couple of machines to run tests. I don't know if what happened with that, but yeah.
Oh my
I think
God.
that the amount of confirmed cases is not real. Um, Same that is
Yeah, it's,
happening.
it's like you
Lots.
said, it's like a lot of people are not being tested. I know even in countries like, so you would think, oh, okay, well, Colombia, it's maybe a more poor country and whatever. So you take the extreme, and you take Switzerland, right? One of the richest countries in the world. They were only testing, and I'm not sure this may have changed right now today, but they were only testing people above the age of 65, or if they had predisposed, things that could result. And I mean, that's other countries, they were testing everybody, giving free tests to everybody, and then that's how they were able to really stop it, and realize who's infected, and then follow around. So it's just, that's crazy. But anyway, it's everyone's dealing with it differently, and I think a lot of countries that are maybe ahead of the game, that have seen what's happening here, that see what's happening there, they can then better prepare for what's going to happen, like you guys, where you're just like, okay, right, we're going to stay home and be safe. So your beautiful Merida, when we come back, may never be the same business-wise. We shall see, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, if there's a message you can get out to anybody, what would you like to share or say?
Just make your best effort in staying at home and take care of your family and your elders. Like they are the ones that are more prone to really going through a hard time. So yeah, every single person counts, and
100%.
yeah, just make your best effort trying to stay home and be conscious. keeping distance and washing your hands.
Yeah, no kidding. Thank
Exactly.
you so much for taking the time with us and sharing with us today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problems. It's a pleasure.